Kulusevski has it, looking for the space of Gaia. Out wide on the left-hand side. He has space. Can I throw this one in? I can. That is a very, very audacious bicycle kick there from Ricardo Pereira. Lovely challenge from Højbjerg. Can he set Son free? Gives it to Kane. Gives it to Son. Who gives it to Højbjerg for 3. It's wide. Oh my word. Nice little pass out to Sessegnon. Gives it back in field to Højbjerg. Gives it to Heung-min Son. Heung-min Son to strike. And that is a brilliant, brilliant save from McCarthy. Hey everybody, and welcome back to episode 1 of season 2 of my FIFA 22 career mode with Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. And this is hot off the heels of what was a pretty solid opening season for Tottenham. We came third in the Premier League table. We won the Europa Conference League, although we did get knocked out pretty early doors in the FA Cup and the League Cup. But we are hoping our fortunes turn around and we can get our hands on even more trophies this season. So what I did last season is I did actually play the pre-season games in the first episode, but actually I've decided not to. You can see we've got Bayern Munich, Dortmund and Porto in a group stage in one of the cup competitions, but as I said, I'm going to sim those games and I'm going to get straight into Premier League games. But before I do that, just want to take a quick run through my team just to give you a bit of an overview in terms of who we have, who we're potentially going to get rid of as well. So you can see we've pretty much got the usual starting 11 here. They're all tied down to decent contracts, and as well I've still got the same subs, no problem there. In terms of players that were outgoing, I had Fraser Forster, who was due, he was actually due to leave. He only had a couple of months left on his contract, but I have actually renewed his contract by just 1 year because I thought I do have Lloris as my number 1 goalkeeper. I don't really need to go out and get a second one. He's decently rated at 75, so I might as well keep him. And the only real change to the first team is that Ivan Perisic's contract has gone down, and I've decided not to renew it. So he's actually signed a pre-contract agreement with Leipzig, I think it was. So presumably when it gets to probably the 1st of July or maybe sometime in August, he will join them. But apart from that, there is no change to my team. You can see I've also got quite a lot of young players that have all come back, the likes of Troy Parrott, Clark, Harvey White, Sarr. They've all come back from loan. But normally, what I would do is I would try and train these guys up and hopefully then kind of help them become first teamers. But obviously with FIFA 23 just around the corner, I'm going to completely bin off that idea because we're probably only going to have time for one more season. So I've decided to go for broke, and I'm going to look to try and see if I can bring in elite players. Now I said at the back end of the last episode I was probably going to look to bring in at least one centre back and possibly another central midfielder. I do have Basuma and Højbjerg, who are both, actually Højbjerg is now 85, Basuma who's 84, got Bentancur 81, and I've got Skip at 79. So decent enough, but probably could be improved, but I definitely want to improve at centre back. So as I said, I am going to go for broke and potentially look to get rid of quite a lot of my young players to see if I can raise any additional funds. As I said, I wouldn't normally do this, but obviously just because we will only have one season left due to FIFA 23, I'm going to go for broke and absolutely try and see if I can get my hands on the Premier League trophy. But let's see how much we have in the transfer budget, and it's 258 mil. I was not expecting that. That is a lot of dough, so that gives us plenty of room to play with. And as I said, I was looking for a centre-back, possibly a central midfielder, so yeah, that definitely gives us a lot of room to manoeuvre. So just before I'm going to start looking at targets, just going to take a quick look at the board ratings. We've got signed 3 younger players. Yep, that's given. Long term, within 2 seasons, have at least 2 players. Yep. Brand exposure. Get a streak of 7 games with at least 1 goal scored in away matches this season. I think that's doable. Last year I had to keep 5 clean sheets in a row away, and I don't actually think I was able to do it. So that is definitely doable. Long term, haven't really got to worry about that. Reach the final of the Champions League. That is ridiculous. I mean, I'm going to go for it, but it's our first season back in the Champions League after finishing 3rd last year, and they want me to reach the final. So, and that's a high one as well. So that's, well, we'll see how that is, but that's kind of a bit ridiculous. But anyway, we'll win the league and win the FA Cup. Oh, this is just ridiculous. They essentially want me to do the treble. They want me to do a domestic double and hopefully do win a European trophy in the Champions League as well. This is ridiculous. And then sign 3 crucial players and make a profit of 86 mil. Okay, right. So, yeah, I think that's going to be a bit tricky. So on to the fun stuff, and it is the transfers for the upcoming season. And I mentioned I am looking for a centre-back. You can see I've got several centre-backs shortlisted. That was from the back end of last year. It was actually from January, I should say, really, because several of these I was potentially looking to buy, but we didn't have enough cash to do so. But obviously with the new cash injection, we definitely do. Lucas Hernandez rated 85. They want between 60 and 80 mil. Bastoni between 60 and 80, and Kimpembe about 60 and 80 the same. So those 3 are kind of my top targets in terms of this season. Gavardiol potentially, I think, longer term probably has the highest ceiling. But again, because I'm only going to be playing this one season, I'm going to go all in for whoever has possibly the best rating for this season. So it's either going to be one of these 3, and I think Hernandez probably has reached his potential. Kimpembe's probably reached his potential as well, whereas Bastoni, I think, probably over the course of the season might be able to extend maybe 2 or 3 rating points. So I think I'm going to go with Bastoni. So I'm going to go for him. I'm going to approach to buy between 60 and 80 mil. Let's see if we can get it done. So here we go. Let's see. Current value 49.5. So I'm going to go in with... I'm just going to go straight in with 50 mil. I'm going to see what they say. 73 and a sell-on clause. Okay, so I'm going to counter that. Remove the sell-on clause. Propose new fee. Let's go in at 58.5. See what they say for that. 76.5. That's a lot. Counter that again. I reckon I can bring this down to 60 odd. 66. We won't let him leave. Okay, we sell him for 74. They're definitely playing hardball. I do not want to pay any more than 70 mil for him. So I'm going to go 68. See if they'll take this. It's only 6 mil off. Can't reduce the fee anymore. You know what? I'm just going to do it. 74 mil. It is what it is. They drive a hard bargain, but that will be that. So we will agree a price for him. Let's see whether or not we can agree wages as well. So here we go. On to the contract negotiations. He's definitely going to be a crucial player for us. 5-year deal. Happy with that. Let's see. Don't want a release clause. That's fine. Let's see what they want. Financial term. Okay, they want me to offer it first. Okay, brilliant. So I'll go 110 just to see how that goes down, and I'll give him a 600 signing bonus. Let's see. Okay. Well, could have gone lower, but more important thing is we got the deal done, and that will be that. And there we have it. Bastoni is a Tottenham player. There he is in the squad. He will probably come in and take the place of either Longley or Dyer. Not quite sure yet. One of those will have to drop to the bench. And potentially, I might look to see if I can bring in another centre-back. But I would quite like to improve my midfield. Now, I was initially thinking of a central midfielder. But to be honest, with Basuma and now Højbjerg rated 84 and 85... it's just the strength in depth. I do have Bentancur at 81, and I've got Skip at 79. So, yeah, you know what, actually, I will. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try and see if I can bring in another central midfielder. And here we are then. Here is the shortlist for my central midfielders. As you can see, I've got quite a lot more in this shortlist. And obviously, I do have my favourites. Obviously, Frankie de Jong being the highest rated would be my number one choice. But between 144 to 205 mil... I think even with this bumper transfer budget, I don't want to blow it completely. So I think he's probably going to be out of the question. Barella, obviously, he is a potential option. Between 100 to 144 mil. Valverde as well. He's rated 85. He's only 23, so he's probably got potential to improve over the course of the season. And they're looking between 81. Obviously, his release clause is 112. So... he's a definite option in the central midfield. I think it's either him or, of course, Jude Bellingham. He is going to be the cheapest out of the lot, but obviously he is the worst rated. Obviously his potential being astronomical, but as we well know, this is only going to be a one more season game. So I think out of all of these, I'm going to go with Federico Valverde. So it did give me the option of paying his release clause, but obviously I declined that, and I'm going to try and go in with an offer that I can get for significantly lower. So I'm going to go in for 80, and let's see what they say. They want to say no. You're not having Heung-min Son. No way. So remove that. Propose new transfer fee. Let's give them 84.9. Let's see what they say. Minimum 91. Okay. That's a lot cheaper than I thought I was going to go for. 91. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. 91 mil. Let's get the deal done. And there we have it. Valverde joining Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Our second signing of this transfer window. I'll put him straight into the first team. Unfortunately, Basuma, you will lose your place. And with that, let's just have a quick look to see how much money we have left in the transfer budget. And that will leave us with 91 mil. Okay, so I'm going to have to make some changes on the wage budget. So that's probably going to bring it down a fair bit. But that's a decent amount of money to spend. And also, with that in mind, I am also going to put quite a lot of my players on the transfer list. And in terms of the transfer list, you can see Ivan Perisic, he's on the transfer list, but he should be going to Leipzig. Not really quite sure what's going on there, but either way, let's move on. I've put Bentancur on the transfer list. He's got 81 rated. I think over the course of the season, Skip will overtake him, so I have put him on the transfer list. Cameron Carter-Vickers back from loan. Austin, Tanganga still on the transfer list. Jack Clark. I put Jed Spence on the transfer list, considering now we have got Pereira and Emerson Royale. And as I said, normally I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't put Spence on the transfer list, wouldn't put Tanganga, but as we only have one season remaining, I'm going all in. And obviously the rest of them, a lot of these just kind of younger youth players that are either on the transfer or the loan list as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold fire on the signings for now. I'm going to see whether or not I can raise any additional funds for the transfer budget from selling any of these players. And once I have done, I will then go back to the drawing board and see whether or not I can bring in one additional player. And there is the first pre-season friendly all done and dusted. I did say I'm going to sim these, and I am going to try and rattle through these pretty quickly so we can get straight on to the main action in the Premier League. You can see we did win 3-1 against Borussia Dortmund, so that is pretty good. Basuma getting a goal, Longley, and also Tanganga as well. So a few points to prove for some of my players, maybe, but let's head on to pre-season game number 2 against Porto. And just after that pre-season game happened, just before the Porto game, I did actually get an offer for Eric Dyer, and I was 50-50 about deciding whether or not to sell him. Then I looked at his stats, then I looked at his age, and potentially what we could get for him, and in the end, I accepted a negotiated offer from Leipzig for 28.1 mil for Eric Dyer. He's 81 rated, so that should give us some decent money to spend on another central defender. So yeah, we'll see whether or not he accepts the contract offer. If he does, I will reluctantly sell him, and hopefully we can bring in someone a little bit better. And it's a 2-0 loss against Porto, so not another positive result, unfortunately, as we do then, well, our next game is going to be against Bayern Munich, so I think it's probably looking likely that we're going to be heading out of this pre-season cup competition. And Eric Dyer has gone, completed his move to RB Leipzig, so he is off the books at Tottenham. Bittersweet, to be honest, because I do like Eric Dyer and he's been at our club for quite some time, but when an offer comes in like that, you can't really turn it down. And we have gone and replaced him with an absolute monster on FIFA. And that monster is De Ligt. 86 rated overall, 22 years of age. What an incredible signing. I think we bought him for about 85, 87 mil. So, yeah, quite expensive, but definitely think he will be worth it. He's going to play at the heart of our defence. A great replacement and someone who can come in and do a job straight away. And to my surprise, we then go and beat Bayern Munich 3-1 in what I thought would have been our last pre-season game, but that means we've probably gone and qualified for the next round. Sessegnon, Troy Parrott and Heung-min Son getting on the score sheet. And then we end up playing Kashima Antlers in the next game. A bit of a random team. Wasn't expecting to play them after having to play Dortmund, Munich and Porto, but we then go and beat them 4-2. So I think that is going to take us into a final in this pre-season cup. And we do go into a final against Athletic Bilbao, but unfortunately it's a final we end up losing on penalties. So 1-1, 4-3 loss on penalties. It is what it is. It's pre-season. Good to get some minutes in the tank. Good to get some positive momentum and some wins. And yeah, good to see some of the signings getting some minutes as well, even though Valverde did end up missing a penalty. But who cares? It's pre-season. I've got all my signings done. I'll keep tabs, obviously, on any outgoings that do happen. But for now, let's get down to the most important stuff and let's head over to the calendar to check out the Premier League games we'll be playing this episode. So we have United and City in our first two games. Home game against United, an away game against City, and then we're going to finish off the month with a home game against Southampton. So what a run of games. What a start to the season. The two Manchester clubs right at the start of the season. Some huge games coming up. Let's get into it. And here we go. This is where the Premier League season starts. It's at home to Manchester United. What a huge game we have in store. And as you can see from my starting 11, all of my new signings will be starting. So we've got Maurice in goal, Bastoni, De Ligt and Romero in defence, Ricardo Pereira and Gaia in the wing-back positions, Valverde, Højbjerg and Kulusevski in midfield, with of course Son and Kane, both 90 rated up front. And as for United, it's a 4-3-3 for them. I'm pretty sure it's a very similar formation and a very similar starting 11 that they had last season as well. So maybe they're waiting for the transfer deadline day to start making some business on their side. But we didn't want to wait. We got our business done early, and hopefully that will result in a positive result against Manchester United. Gaia throws it to Kulusevski. Højbjerg out wide to Gaia. Looks for Son, finds him. Son, I'm just trying to look for some options in the box. I almost found Kane. Couldn't quite get there though. Can Kulusevski get there? He can't. Kulusevski has it, looking for the space of Gaia. Out wide on the left-hand side. He has space. Can I throw this one in? I can. That is a very, very audacious bicycle kick there from Ricardo Pereira. If that had gone in, what a way to introduce yourself to the Tottenham faithful. Unfortunately, he fell flat on his face. And United now, Gaia's got the pace to burst past Ronaldo. He doesn't have the pace to get past Casemiro. But then he's able to tackle him. And I will now drive up the line. As he hasn't really got too many options in the box. Looks for Kane, but again, the AI just won't make any decent runs. All he needed to do was just take a step back there, and it probably would have been 1-0, but instead he just stays in the same position, and we end up giving the ball away. And now Ronaldo has it in the box, and this is great build-up from United, and Cristiano Ronaldo sticks it in the back of the net. We get caught napping on the counter-attack, and Ronaldo absolutely blasts it past Hugo Lloris. I still don't know who their manager's supposed to be. I don't think they know, but they don't care. They lead 1-0 here after some great build-up play. Lovely one-touch play in our box. Ronaldo smashes it past Hugo Lloris. It's 1-0 United. Spinazzola, lovely ball through to Anthony. Ricardo Pereira really struggling with him so far in this game. And Ronaldo almost there. De Ligt with a lovely recovering header. Oh, that is a lovely ball into Thomas Muller, who's in acres of space in the middle of the park. Gives it to Bruno Fernandes, and he will drive forward. United looking really, really dangerous here. De Ligt is there once again. Good defending from him, but he's under a lot of pressure here. I'm just going to have to try and hack this away. I was just going to hack it away, but he has the composure to give it back to Hugo Lloris. And we are away once again. Romero to Højbjerg. Lovely ball out wide, looking for Gaia, finds him. Gaia in to Son, trying to play that across to Harry Kane. And I think he's offside. Spinazzola has it. I thought he was about to run that out of play, but he manages somehow to keep it in. Now Bruno Fernandes has it. Rashford. Can De Ligt stop him? He goes past De Ligt like he's not even there. And this is surely It is. It's 2-0. All over the shop at the back. I don't really know what I was doing. Easily managed to run past De Ligt. I should have just stayed. I think it was my other defender. I think it was Romero. I tried to track Rashford coming in. I should have just stayed put and tried to block the pass off to Fernandes, but I didn't. And he ends up getting the ball across. Lovely play from Rashford then. Gets the ball across. And it's an easy finish for Bruno Fernandes, who finds Lucas Moura on the right-hand side. But where is Harry Kane? He's nowhere to be found. Lucas Moura doing some really nice play there. Got away from the defender. Put a decent ball in, but Harry Kane is nowhere to be found. Højbjerg to Kane, who I think was offside. He wasn't. That is a splendid finish from Harry Kane. I just said, where was he? Well, he was in the box, and he got that in the back of the net. Lovely finish. I want him to pick the ball up, and he's not picking the ball up. But what a great finish here from Harry Kane after some lovely work from Højbjerg. Turns away from two defenders, curls that round the goalkeeper. We are back in this. United on the counter now. That is great stuff from them. Pereira nowhere to be found again. Rashford's through. Overruns it, and Hugo Lloris fortunately able to mop that one up. Lucas Moura, Valverde, lovely ball through. Can Moura get there in time? He can. Has he got the pace to go past Varane? No, he doesn't. He can't, and I think, yes it will. That will be the end of the game. So, in spite of beating United 6-0 last time, and in spite of us spending pretty much about 200 million in the summer transfer window, we end up losing our opening game of the season against Manchester United. Retribution for them. It's 2-1 here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and hopefully we can get a better result against City. So I have kept the same starting 11 against City. I'm going to give them the opportunity to try and redeem themselves. I do think, though, this is going to be a very, very difficult game. If we have a quick look at City's lineup, looks like Thomas Lemar is a new signing for them, playing in central midfield. So, yeah, we did struggle against City last year. We drew and lost to them. That infamous Haaland header in the 94th minute of the game. But, yeah, hoping we can get some retribution this time round as we head on over to the Etihad. I can already tell, due to the sun on this pitch, I am really going to struggle today. And to be honest, I'm even struggling to see my own kit. I'm definitely struggling to see the names of my own players. As Ricardo Pereira picks it up, I'm hoping for a better game from him. He was very, very poor last time out against United. Speaking of poor, I was going to say that was a terrible ball, but oh my word, some horrendous goalkeeping, some very poor goalkeeping, and Ricardo Pereira, who I just said needed to up his performance, has upped his performance. It's his first goal of the campaign. It's his first goal for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. And what a way to start this game against Manchester City. What on earth were they doing? Ball in. I think it clipped the post and the keeper just seemed to sort of stand there. Didn't really do anything. Ricardo Pereira, for some reason, found himself inside the 6-yard box and smashed it into the back of the net. Walker has the pace. It's a good deflection. Out to Rodri. City playing some really nice stuff. Yeah, Cancelo absolutely does. Ricardo Pereira there. Into De Bruyne. Bastoni almost made the challenge but didn't quite get there. It's now back out to De Bruyne. Lovely ball through. Mahrez. Big save again from Hugo Lloris. Out wide all the way to Gaia. To be honest, I was actually looking for the run of Heung-min Son, but I couldn't find him. But I do find him now. Son trying to find Valverde, but he manages to run past the ball. But Kane will pick this up. Højbjerg to Son in the box. Curls it round the goalkeeper, and that is a lovely finish. It's almost a carbon copy of Harry Kane's finish against United. Heung-min Son gives us a 2-goal cushion here at the City of Manchester Stadium. Actually, it's the Etihad Stadium. And it's a lovely, lovely finish from Heung-min Son. Look at the curve on that. Right round the goalkeeper, left the goalkeeper with absolutely no chance whatsoever. It's Tottenham 2, Manchester City 0. Kulusevski wins that. Looking for the run of Son. He's not going anywhere. He is now. He's on his bike and he's going to strike here. That is a good save from Henderson. Hit with power. It was hit straight at him. Again, Kane not really making too many angles for me, so I thought I might as well just take the shot on. And we force a corner. Son gets the ball in. Can we get our head to it? We can! And that is a big, big save. It was almost 3-0 and it was almost game over. Lovely challenge from Højbjerg. Can he set Son free? Gives it to Kane. Gives it to Son. Who gives it to Højbjerg for 3. It's wide. Oh my word. Gives it to De Ligt. City pressing high here, but they leave space in the middle of the park. Valverde has it to Kulusevski, back to Valverde. Was looking for the run of Kane, but Valverde will strike, and that is a brilliant goal. Federico Valverde with his first goal for Tottenham Hotspur, and it's our third goal of the game, and surely that means 3 points will be coming back to North London. I meant to play the ball into Kane, but Valverde picked it up again, skipped past the defender, lovely stuff from him, and absolutely buries that past Ederson. Possibly Ederson could have done better there, but I don't care. It's a lovely finish. Ederson definitely could have done better there. It's a lovely finish though, and we lead at the Etihad 3-0 to Kulusevski, to Son. I'm going to look for Gaia out wide. I find him. I'm trying to swing this in. It's a great ball, and that is a big chance. Polar opposite to the game against Manchester United. We really have been fantastic here against City. Son looking for Højbjerg, who finds his way into the box and almost finds his way to Harry Kane, but Kulusevski will pick this up. Gives it to Højbjerg, into Kulusevski. It's 4. I thought it was Kulusevski, it wasn't, it was Son. It will be 4. What a brilliant goal, and Højbjerg involved once again. Son celebrates in front of the Manchester City fans. Bit cheeky from him, but it is a lovely finish after a lovely through ball from Højbjerg, and we lead 4-0 against Manchester City. But fortunately, I think Romero will get there just in time. He does, and that is that. What a game here at I was about to say again, the City of Manchester Stadium. I'm thinking old school as the Etihad. What a game here, polar opposite to the game against Manchester United. A brilliant performance, a 4-0 performance, and that is a real shot in the arm. And now our Premier League campaign really begins. On to the final game of this episode. It's a home game against Southampton. As you can see from my starting 11, I've made a couple of changes. Richarlison now will come in for Kulusevski, who's slightly fatigued after the City game. And Emerson Royale gets his place back in the starting 11 after 2 pretty poor performances from Ricardo Pereira, it must be said. Yes, he did score the opening goal against City, but apart from that, it was absolutely dreadful for the rest of the game. So Emerson Royale comes in, a chance to stake a claim for a starting spot. As for Southampton, 4-4-2 for them. This is a game we really should be winning. It's a game we need to win after losing against Manchester United. Let's see how we get on. Lovely ball over the top. Livramento running from right back position, gets his head on it. De Ligt gets his head on it, and it goes out for the first corner of the game. 22 minutes in here. Southampton putting the pressure on. It's a deep corner. Valverde gets there first, but Southampton pick it up, and they manage to keep it in play. And it's out to Salisu, to Che Adams, but De Ligt with a great challenge. De Ligt has been really good so far in these opening 2 games. Son plays it out to Valverde. Valverde, absolutely rapid, drives into the penalty area, takes this back, looks for Kane. There's no one there. Kane trying to bulldoze his way through. Watkins, lovely tackle from Højbjerg, and Valverde will try and get this away. Heung-min Son looking for the run of Harry Kane. I don't think Kane's going to have the pace, but he actually does have the pace. He manages to keep hold of that. Gaia now has it. Son is offside, but he gives it to Kane. Going to go for the finesse, and that is a brilliant finish. Harry Kane gives us the lead here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It is a lovely finish after a lovely little ball played back from Gaia. Great build-up play. Great build-up play between Gaia and Kane. Kane on the edge of the box with a lovely finish past the goalkeeper, leaving the goalkeeper with absolutely no chance. He did the same thing against United, and he puts us in the lead here, 1-0. And Southampton have the chance now. They bring this forward. Højbjerg with a late challenge to who with a lovely strike. And Hugo Lloris forced into action there. Højbjerg will pick up a yellow card. It's a deserved yellow card after an ill-timed challenge from him. And Southampton, with 70 minutes played, have a corner. They're going to throw this into the box. De Ligt again there with a big header. Can't stress enough how good he has been. And Kane with a brilliant challenge, but it's back and forth, and that is a foul. Nice little pass out to Sessegnon. Gives it back in field to Højbjerg. Gives it to Heung-min Son. Heung-min Son to strike. And that is a brilliant save from McCarthy. Big strike from outside the box. Heung-min Son picks it up again. Went for the finesse that time. Couldn't get it into the goal. Valverde, lovely pass. Ricardo Pereira offside. Who has it? Only a few minutes left in this game. Braithwaite. Lloris with a big save. Bastoni just gets there in time. But that will be that. It's a 1-0 win here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. A great way to finish off the game. That man de Ligt has been absolutely phenomenal. It's 1-0 here. And it's another 3 points in the bag. And there we have it. 3 games played in the Premier League. And somehow we find ourselves in 4th. Below Crystal Palace, Aston Villa and Newcastle. So maybe Newcastle splashing some of that cash that they have. Fulham in 5th. Stoke in 6th. City and United find themselves in 7th and 8th. Liverpool in 9th. Chelsea in 10th. Arsenal down in 12th. If you remember last season, both Chelsea and Arsenal had tricky starts to the season. It looks like they've carried on that form into this season. Stoke, the newly promoted team, into 6th place. That's a great start from them. Just going to double check, because I actually realised I forgot to check which teams got promoted. And obviously it was West Brom and Sheffield United got promoted, and obviously they find themselves in 16th and 17th. But as for us, if we go right back up, to be fair, I didn't think it was the best start, dropping 3 points early on to Manchester United, but we still find ourselves in 4th. This season, I definitely want to be challenging for the title. And now with Newcastle in 1st, we only find ourselves 1 point off. So yeah, we're in a much better position than I thought we would be. And just before we come to the end of this episode, you can see I fast forwarded to September the 1st. The transfer deadline day is over. And to be honest, there wasn't too much movement from us. There was definitely no incomings. The only real kind of major outgoing was Bentancur. So it was either going to be Oliver Skipp or Bentancur that I did sell. There were no offers that came in for Skipp, but there was an offer for Real Sociedad for Bentancur. I ended up selling him for 42 million. So it was an offer I really couldn't turn down. In terms of some of my youth players, it was Troy Parrott, I think, went out on loan. Cameron Carter-Vickers was sold. Also Harvey White as well. But in terms of some of my other players like Spence, as you can see, some of these other youth players as well, none of them were sold, as no real kind of decent offers really came in for them. So not too much coming our way in terms of transfer madness on the last day. But I do just want to have a quick look at the other transfers to see if there are any particular big ones that stand out. We can see Lautaro Martinez has gone from Inter Milan to Barcelona, and obviously they've been able to afford that because Pedri went to Milan, so that is a huge sale from Barcelona. They've also brought in Marino as well, so Barcelona very active in the transfer market. We look at Robertson has gone to Juventus. Wow, Valverde obviously has gone to us, de Ligt to us, Jimenez has gone to Chelsea. That's a big signing. Wolves making a big signing. Kimpembe going to Atletico Madrid. Lucas Hernandez going to Villarreal from Bayern Munich. That is a very strange one. Wasn't expecting that for 71 mil as well. Maybe he can't get in the Bayern Munich side. I don't know. Thiago, he's gone to Juventus. 70 odd mil for Thiago. 31-year-old Thiago. That is a lot of money. Tielemans going to Real Madrid. Big signing for them. Pau Torres coming in for Inter. Joe Gomez going to Bayern Munich. So I think those are the big ones, really. Kovacic going to Real Madrid. So those really are the big signings. You can see Bentancur then going to Real Sociedad for 41.2. I thought it was 42. Benassia going to Seville. So Guendouzi going from Arsenal, obviously, to Newcastle. So Wan-Bissaka going to Napoli. So some big transfers happening throughout the transfer window. But as for us, you saw our incomings, you saw our outgoings. I am pretty confident after a solid, if not unspectacular start to the season, that we can definitely challenge for the Premier League title. So let's just take a quick look at the agenda for the next episode. You can see we've got Stoke away in the league, Everton and West Ham as well. And as you can see, we are starting off our Champions League campaign, actually. We've also got MK Dons, we've got Bayern Munich as well. I think that's Seville. I'm going to have a quick look at our group in the Champions League. And we've been drawn against Seville, Shakhtar Donetsk and Bayern Munich. So I definitely think that's a group we can get out of. Bayern Munich is going to be a very big test. But it's really us and probably Seville that are kind of fighting for that second place spot. So hopefully we can pick up a decent result against Seville and we can push ourselves forward into the next round of the Champions League. But quickly going back to the calendar, as you can see, it's a jam-packed episode. We've got 6 games to play. I'll probably sim 2 or 3 of them. And yeah, that is that. So hopefully you enjoyed this bumper episode. Absolutely jam-packed with transfer business, huge games as well. As you can see, we've got a jam-packed episode for the next one as well. If you did like this episode, please feel free to like and subscribe. It will do the channel the world of good, and hopefully I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching.